Greetings and welcome to Chadron State College's Teaching, Learning, and Professional Education Center's Tuesday Teaching Tip. I'm Dr. Nathaniel Doherty. This week I want to talk about the website that you can see in the video here. It's called the Workload Estimator 2.0, developed or presented now through Wake Forest University's Center for the Advancement of Teaching. It is, in short, a way of determining just how much time you can expect a given task to take your students. Let me give you a little bit of background. The culture around teaching and higher education has been undergoing a sea change over the last few decades, and the idea of student-centered instruction has become central. Most educators who care about their students have been teaching with this idea in mind for as long as teaching has existed, but the sea change that I mentioned has brought about a formalized way of studying teaching and an attempt to formally encourage this kind of goodwill towards our students and putting them at the center of the education process. This formalization is where the vocabulary like student-centered anything comes from. One important aspect of creating student-centered instruction is that educators make an effort to ensure that students have adequate time to complete tasks set for them as part of the class. My goal with this video is to introduce you to a tool that can be used in this effort, that is the Workload Estimator. When I talk about tasks for a class, I'm referring to literally anything that your students have to do in order to perform well in your class. This includes studying, writing assignments, projects, response journal posts, anything. We have all developed a sense of how long these kinds of tasks take our students to perform up to the standards that we expect of them. But as the history of scholarship attests, we all tend to reach better results as a profession when we pool our resources. One thing I like about this website/tool is that information about the developers is readily available, as is a description of the assumptions and methods that they used in setting up the defaults for the calculator. You can see the creators' names here. There's links to information about them through their names. This link here takes you to details of how the baseline estimates and assumptions were set up, covering different aspects of tasks the estimator covers, and giving you a sense of the scholarship that went into informing these assumptions. Also, one thing to note is that when you click on the links, on the link leading you, this link here, leading you to this information, it takes you to the prior version of the estimator that was run through Rice University. Is a bit simpler, so make sure that you're not accidentally using the prior estimator. Remember, it says course workload estimator, and we don't have enhanced course workload estimator or the 2.0 mentioned. So another thing I appreciate about the workload estimator is that basic assumptions about how long students will take at certain tasks can be adjusted by you, the end user. Obviously, you work with your students closely. You have some privileged information into how long it takes them to accomplish things, and you can use that expertise to recalibrate the workload estimator if you find that in using it, it's offering you some less than accurate estimates. Obviously, this isn't a magic bullet, but since the TLPEC is in the business of advocating student-centered teaching, I suggest the workload estimator can be a useful tool when you're designing new assignments or activities, and especially in cases where you're noticing that student performance is slipping in particular areas of your course. In that case, I ask that you consider the possibility that student preparation may be different from when you first ran the activity, or that this group of students may be experiencing an additional complication impacting their coursework that you weren't able to anticipate when you were designing the activity or the course. Obviously, none of us can plan perfectly every time, and COVID has introduced us into a whole new set of possible occurrences that we didn't have to worry about years ago. The workload estimator might be a useful tool for getting some perspective or just an outside opinion in cases like that. I ask that you check it out, read its background, try giving it a chance. Of course, the TLPEC is here to help you use tools like the Workload Estimator if you're interested in our help. We have lots of other resources to offer as well, so please don't hesitate to reach out to us. All right, that's it. Have a good Tuesday, have a good rest of the week, and I'll talk to you soon.